Lamborghini and Ferrari, two of the most luxurious cars in the world. You'll see them parked in the garages of billionaires and millionaires. It's the kind of car that, if you're trying to show people you've made it, you almost need one. Honestly, if someone told you they were a millionaire selling their course, you probably wouldn't believe them unless they had a Ferrari or a Lambo parked outside. But here's the crazy part. The man who created Lamborghini wasn't from racing. He wasn't from sports cars at all. He came from tractors. And yet, his story would lead to one of the greatest rivalries in car history.
If there is truly a dream car to satisfy those passions, the name it bears is this: Lamborghini. The Lamborghini.
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 Feel like a pilot.
In the 1950s and early 1960s, Ferrari was untouchable. In that era, it was popular among wealthy people because of its unmatched speed and unique design. Unlike the bulky or plain cars of the 1950s, Ferraris had sleek, elegant, and aerodynamic lines, which really drew people's attention. One of Ferrari's wealthiest customers was Ferruccio Lamborghini. Unlike Enzo, Ferruccio wasn't a racing man. He was the son of farmers who built a fortune after World War II manufacturing tractors. His company made rugged, reliable agricultural machines, and by the 1960s, Ferruccio was one of the richest men in Italy. He loved luxury. He owned villas, yachts, and of course, Ferraris. But while he admired Ferrari's beauty, he was frustrated by their flaws. The cars were noisy, uncomfortable, and worst of all, unreliable. Ferruccio found himself constantly repairing clutches on his Ferraris. One day, after yet another breakdown, he decided to confront Enzo Ferrari directly. Ferruccio drove to Maranello, walked into Ferrari's office, and explained the problems. He even suggested Ferrari use a stronger clutch, the same one Lamborghini used in his tractors. But then Enzo replied with something that Ferruccio didn't expect. So Enzo basically said,
"The problem isn't the car. The problem is you. A tractor driver could never understand my cars."
That one line changed history. Ferruccio took that very personally, and then he stormed out and made a vow.
If Ferrari won't build the perfect sports car, I will.
Ferruccio wasted no time. In 1963, he founded Automobili Lamborghini in Sant'Agata Bolognese, just 20 miles away from Ferrari's factory. He might have already thought it all through, but this wasn't going to be an easy journey. Ferruccio's philosophy was clear. While Ferrari focused on racing pedigree, Lamborghini would focus on luxury and performance for the road. He didn't care about trophies. Above all, his mission was clear: to create the greatest grand touring car in existence. Then that day came when Ferruccio launched his first model, the 350 GT. And with this release, he stunned the industry. With a sleek V12 engine and refined design, it proved Lamborghini wasn't just a tractor maker anymore. He was ready to shake up Ferrari's legacy. But everything changed in 1966 when Ferruccio took his second shot, the Miura. The Miura was unlike anything the world had seen. With its mid-engine layout, futuristic curves, and blistering speed, it set a new standard for what a supercar could be. It was dramatic, stylish, and fast. That was the moment Ferrari realized it wasn't the only king of Italian supercars anymore. Ferraris in the early 60s were fast, but they were temperamental, stiff clutches, overheating engines, the kind of machines that felt like race cars forced onto the street. Then came Lamborghini, building cars that were smoother, easier to drive, and comfortable enough for long journeys. Miura, a mid-engine V12 that looked like it had landed from the future, and it completely redefined the idea of a supercar. Ferrari's cars were elegant, restrained, and aristocratic. Lamborghinis? Outrageous, dramatic, impossible to ignore. No wonder rock stars and playboys chose them to make their entrance. But the rivalry wasn't always equal. Ferrari had decades of racing prestige and a loyal fan base. Lamborghini was still a young company, and Ferruccio made one crucial decision that would haunt the brand. He refused to enter racing. To him, racing was a waste of money, but to the public, racing was what gave Ferrari its magic. Then came disaster. In 1973, the oil crisis hit. Gas prices soared, demand for supercars collapsed, and Lamborghini, still small and fragile, was hit the hardest. By 1974, Ferruccio Lamborghini sold the company and retired. Lamborghini fell into years of financial chaos, changing ownership multiple times and at one point even going bankrupt. Meanwhile, Ferrari kept winning championships and selling road cars. For a while, it seemed like Ferrari had crushed its rival. In the late 1970s and 1980s, under new ownership, Lamborghini staged a comeback with one of the most outrageous cars ever built, the Countach. The Countach looked like it came from another planet. Sharp angles, scissor doors, and an engine that roared like thunder. It became more than a car. It became the icon every kid had hanging on their wall, and that's exactly where Lamborghini won back its crown. The Countach became the ultimate dream car for an entire generation. It appeared in movies, music videos, and on bedroom walls across the world. Ferrari still had prestige, but Lamborghini had something else: pop culture dominance. Through the 80s and 90s, cars like the Diablo kept Lamborghini in the spotlight, even as ownership shuffled. Finally, in 1998, Audi bought Lamborghini, giving it financial stability and German engineering support. Now the fight was serious again. With Audi's backing, Lamborghini entered the 2000s strong. The Murcielago and Gallardo brought modern technology, reliability, and global sales success. Ferrari countered with the Enzo, the 458 Italia, and eventually the LaFerrari, cars that pushed racing technology to the road. The rivalry had evolved. Ferrari remained the brand of exclusivity and racing heritage, while Lamborghini embraced wild styling and shock value. Today, the fight continues. Ferrari builds refined monsters like the SF90 Stradale, and 296 GTB Lamborghini brings theatrical beasts like the Aventador and Huracan, cars that are loud, aggressive, and designed to turn heads. Both brands thrive because of that one fateful moment when Enzo Ferrari told a tractor maker he'd never understand cars.